Good morning, everybody. It is Monday morning, October 18th. So I want to talk about the Salem witch trials a little bit. And that's been kind of coming up in my awareness lately and again yesterday. So I feel like this is probably relevant for a lot of people that watch my channels. And this is why I feel like that is the case. So when I was little and I'm like a kid, I can remember thinking to myself, being burned all over your body must be the absolute worst thing in the world. I have never been burned all over my body. I never knew anybody that I can recall that had been burned all over their body, but there was a knowing inside of me that knew that was going to be bad news. I also can remember when, I don't know, maybe in my 30s, I came across some information in the history books about the Rye Poisoning that was, they said, rampant around the Salem witch trial time, and why that Rye poisoning might have been one of the reasons that people were hallucinating and all the weird stuff that was going on that got them blamed for being a witch. That being said, I have never had a past life reading done where I found out that I was a witch, that I was burned on the stake. I believe that my guides probably have protected me from that lifetime because I already know in my heart that was something that happened. Too many odd, weird coincidences. Now we fast forward to who I am today, what I'm trying to teach, what I understand. It makes sense. So that also, Rion, the one that I brought in yesterday, the newer teacher that I suggested everybody go look at, he did a video where he went to Salem and did a clearing. I watched the video. It was really hard to watch because there was a bunch of banging around. He was sitting outside and the shade that he was under was like banging around with the wind. So it was very distracting. What he said was good, but I will post it in the comments if you want to go watch it. You just have to be patient with the banging noise and just keep pushing through to what he had to say. What he talked about was a very dark energy over there where a lot of those people that died or family members of people that died in the Salem witch trials have like looped over and over and over again. He never used the word ghost, but my understanding is that is what a ghost is. A ghost is someone who never goes to the other side, doesn't do a review of their life, and then come back and try to do it all over again. They get stuck in this like middle space and they just keep reliving the same thing over and over and over again. So he talked about releasing a lot of that dark energy over around Salem and bringing them over to Sedona. So I thought that was really interesting. And that makes sense, I guess. You know, a lot of people probably did get stuck in there. Family members who watched it happen, people that had it happen to them. And the next point I want to make is, if you are someone in this current lifetime who is having trouble speaking your truth about who you are, what your beliefs are, you know, stepping into your power, it is highly likely that you were one of the ones that were burned at the stake because you did speak up. You were trying to heal people. You were trying to help people. And what happened to you? They burned you. And that would put enough fear in anybody not to ever want to have that happen again. Like I said, when I was little, I knew being burned alive or being burned all over your body had to have been one of the worst things in the world that could happen. So that's in my DNA. That fear is probably in a lot of people's DNAs, male and female. So if you have somebody in your family who you know has what we might say superpowers, and they are having a hard time speaking up or bringing their truth out into the open, it's probably because they haven't cleared that past lifetime yet of, you know, when something really bad happened to them for being who they were. So give them a break. lead them to some healing of some sort. If you know somebody who can heal that, and then they can move on to what they're supposed to be doing in this lifetime. Okay, now the next thing is and see, this whole witch thing has been on my mind for a long time. And so it finally just like kind of, I decided yesterday, I'm like, I'm going to do something, because after I watched that Rye thing and I was thinking about, I just know that I was a witch in a previous lifetime and probably got sacrificed at the Salem witch trials. I got that ringing noise in my ear twice yesterday. And apparently, left side is yes and right side is a no sign. So one of the things that I have also wanted to bring about is I used to watch The Good Witch on Netflix all the time. And I quit watching Netflix for a while, and then I kicked it back into place a couple of months ago because there was something that I wanted to watch that I thought maybe the White Hats had brought out. So I finally got around to watching the last 2 seasons of The Good Witch within the last couple of weeks, and it does feel like the White Hats did take over that, because man, that last season, they were really hitting it hard with the spiritual stuff, the healing, the mind body wellness stuff. Like, we all know that, but they were hitting it hard on that particular show. And it's the seasons, the whole show is over now. I guess they've stopped doing it altogether. But that was good. I would like to see more stuff like that come out. That being said, okay. And the other thing is, I personally have a hard time with the word witch. I don't care whether people call me a good witch or a bad witch, but there's this internal thing that cringes every time I hear that word. And I know there are a lot of people that proudly go about and say that they're witches, and say that they're good witches. I suppose because I feel like I was probably burned or sacrificed at the Salem witch trials, that I don't want to be called a witch, because that's probably in my DNA. So I am curious, for those of you who have some affiliation or feelings about the Salem witch trials, do you have a fascination about that? Do you feel like you were one of those? I would be willing to bet that many people that resonate with me, watch my channel, are into the healing arts, probably have that in their past, have that lifetime in their past. And maybe still have some sting or some DNA damage or some fear that is still clogging up things that might be stopping you from moving forward on your path. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Everybody have a good week. I will talk to you later. Bye.